3 laps, so your first lap's technically not going to count. Uh, but when I see 3, I'm going to click pause, and then we'll move on to the next one. I'll record your time, and then at the end, we'll see who's in the lead. So get ready. All right, Sam, you have completed with a 2.003 best lap. Next up is Randy Kirtley, Blue Lane. Okay. All right. Next up is Gabriel Kirtley, Blue Lane. See, can we get a fan from the back room here shortly? And so we can put it on this, maybe cool it off. All right, same thing, Gabe. Get ready. 3 laps. All right, Gabriel, your best time is a 1.998. Next up, we got Glenn Burden, Blue Lane. All right, Glenn, when you're ready, 3 laps. All right, Glenn, that'll be 2.098. Next up, we got Greg Kimball, Blue Lane. All right, Greg, when you're ready, yet again, 3 laps to qualify. All right, Greg, that'll be a 2.116. Next up, we got Nathaniel Burden, Blue Lane. All right, Nathaniel, when you're ready, you got 3 laps to make a heat lap. All right, that'll be a 2.117. Next up, we got Jay Latham, Blue Lane. All right, Jay, when you're ready, you got 3 laps to make a time. All right, that'll be a 2.016. Next up, we got Gerald Suttle. Blue Lane. I'm going to announce myself and then I'm going to walk in there and qualify. I don't even have a body on my car yet. All right, Gerald, whenever you are ready, 3 laps to get a time. All right, that'll be a 1.836. T. I don't. I can do my own body. What I need you to do is hit start on this for me. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. Next up is me, Donovan Kirtley. Got to put my car on Blue Lane. Then my wife's going to start it for me. Kill it on the 4th lap. Beat.
I feel like you got shafted on Friday. What is it? He goes, yeah, I got turned up with Nicky on Godzilla. Somebody got shafted.
Take the body.
His dad's one. His Jack Daniels.
I had that. I'm like, bad guy stop. What? And they told me that you helped the top guy.
Where's my controller?
Don't hit your back in his body.
It's on. It's on.
For now.
It'll be all right.
Until you start streaking on the track.
It'll be all right.
Check this.
Yeah, I got to start his for him. One more. Did your body come off?
No, it didn't. It's just beat to pieces. Is this mine? All right, next up, Michael Hazlip, Blue Lane. Mike, when you're ready, 3 laps to make a time. All right, 2.207. I don't need another body, honey. I don't. Leave it alone. That's fine. It's not that. The car is bent to pieces. That car is not going to finish first. It is. There's not a car down there that is roadworthy. So I'm just a number. Huh? Yeah, that's fine. All right, next up, Randy Kirtley, Blue Lane. All right, when you're ready, 3 laps to make a lap time. All right, 1.924. Give me a moment to tally this up, and then I'll be out there asking people where they want to go.
I wasn't even down there. I come to the hockey park.
Yeah.
Who got first?
Figure it out.
All right. Start me as a set out.
Start me as a set out.
Me and Joe are the set outs. Or no, wait, Dad gets to pick before me.
All right, so as it stands right now, it looks like first is Gerald Suttle, second Randy Kirtley, third Gabriel Kirtley, fourth Sam Nelson, fifth Jay Latham, sixth Glenn Burden, seventh Greg Kimball, eighth Nathaniel Burden, ninth Donovan Kay, Michael Hazlip, 10th place.
Dad wants to be the second set out, so I don't get this. Not over here. I don't know.
know, Sam, where you want to go.
I have no idea what's a good lane to start on.
Well, Gabriel's got white.
What's your group?
Setting out.
Everything is sitting out too.
Adam and Jerry setting out. Gabriel's white.
Okay. What's that before white?
Before white.
What's it go like? White, white, red.
Yeah.
What is it?
White red.
Yeah, well, what's after that? What's before white?
If you run red, you can run all 8 lanes by setting out.
Yeah, but if I go behind,
Okay, then you orange.
behind white's orange. Yeah, I'll try.
All right, Jay Latham, I need to know where you want to go. He's coming.
Maybe pick stickers up too.
Give me purple.
Purple. Glenn Burton, I need to know where you want to go.
You pick orange.
Purple, white, and orange are taken.
Red.
All right, Greg Kimball, I need to know where you want to go. White is taken.
Green.
Green it is. All right, Nathaniel.
Blue.
Blue. So he black. And then Mark will do
Yeah, they're on the paper.
All right, give me a moment to get these names in and we'll get started.
I start on one green, I guess. I race for food.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing what I'm seeing. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to an unmanned oval race as I'm going to race. When I get done, I'll meet you guys back up.
Dad wanted to be the second set out, so switch Dad and Gerald.
Well, he doesn't have that choice. He got second.
What?
Gerald has first choice. He beat Dad.
Oh, well, Joe didn't specify. He just said set out, but it doesn't matter.
Do you feel different over in that corner now?
Oh yeah. Feel strong,
Do you?
unbeatable.
Where's your other hat at, man? I can't hardly look. I don't even know who you are with that hat on.
Sean Liv just pulled up. You wanna just see if he wants to race or not? Or if you like, I just,
Is he gonna race DRC?
I don't know. He usually does drag racing. I don't know if he has any cars for the other.
If everybody else is cool with it, I am.
Okay, let me ask him. What is it?
Another guy might want to join into the race.
Okay.
Okay.
Said your brother, such a good kid.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. T, you're gonna end up having to start this. Good.
It's your turn. Want some gum? You want some?
My car's not gonna make it anyway. It's gonna be about the first. I don't have a wrench. Give me a blue wrench.
Some freight cars?
Those are not fronts, those are wheels. Give me one of the rims. Give me a rim. No, a rental GRC, babe.
Add Tom to the list.
Get these fixed after the race, man. This way you're not dragging me.
Hey, it's me.
Welcome to my life, Dave.
You talking about that?
Yeah, going on full kill, instantaneous. What's going on out here? Cause I'm ready to kick some ass.
Are we not able to add racers after this?
That's our starter.
What?
Who you trying to add?
I was gonna try to add Tom.
You'll have to board out of the race.
Really?
I don't think you can add him.
Do what?
I don't think you can add him
Hmm.
after it starts.
He can run in my place, I'll just keep Scott.
No, if anybody runs in anybody's place, it'll be me, because I'm the only one that ain't paying to get in this race. So
Yeah,
if
but
he-
you've already run a section and he had.
yeah, but I'm better than him, so he'll have plenty of laps. If he wants to.
He needs to get on yellow. Or Dad want, well, I'll say you could let Tom, you can run yellow. Tom? We'll leave one last call.
There we go, Mike. We'll get you fixed up.
What's your six?
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I am not racing. Donovan K is actually Randy K. We had a latecomer into the race, wanted to get in. Tom Payton, he's actually racing under Randy K's name. So if you see Randy K, that's actually Tom Payton. As we're doing this dual GRC, he wanted to be able to get in last moment, and now he's in it. Probably one of the biggest dual GRC races we've had to date. And it's been somewhat of a deal here. And it looks like you guys this whole time have not been watching the race, so that's entertaining. Let's see if we can get it turned over to the race so you can actually see what's going on here. We get a red flag rotation, and it looks like Randy Kirtley's still in the lead. Just trying to get the chat and everything up rolling here. For some reason or another, having an issue connecting currently. There we go. I was on the wrong setting. Okay. Trying to get Facebook stuff up and going. There we go. Finally got it up and going. As you can see, Randy Kirtley in the lead, Jay Latham second place, Glenn Burden in third place to round up your top three. Minute and 42 seconds left to go as each one of these guys are trying to work on their cars. Michael Hazelup, I don't know if you guys noticed him. He's on deck right now. If you look in the top left of your screen there under rotation now, or rotate now, new to GRC racing here tonight, fresh out of the box, had a little bit of a couple issues getting his car up to snuff. We worked on it here to get it to where his front wheels wasn't dragging. I think we finally got that under control. A little bit of issues with some of the chassis work needing to be done, but got it back under control, so he should be not popping out quite as much when he gets back in to race. Minutes left. Michael Hazelup's actually on deck helping track marshal. Plenty of track marshals out there tonight. Gabriel Kirtley in here crushing a peach. We do have crushed peach here at Lanes Raceway for all those that are interested in crushed peach. We're back green racing here. As you guys have probably noticed tonight, quite a few incidents taking place. Looks like yet again our one camera there, a little bit out of sync with the other, but if you miss something, well, that's like an instant replay, I guess. So we'll do the best that we can. The one that is up to date and live currently is your one on the right part of your screen. Seems if there's about a 6 second delay or 600 millisecond delay, might be set up in the actual settings itself. As we did that for pinball the other day, so I believe that's on me, ladies and gentlemen. Something that will not be able to be fixed currently right now until we do a revamp of this software, which we plan on doing tomorrow or the next day. So just kind of view it as like an instant replay. If you didn't catch it in the right screen, you want to see what took place, take a quick look in the left screen. Maybe you'll catch it. So we'll make the best of it, as I think it's kind of a net positive in a way right now. Just know the right side's live, the left side's about 6 second delay. Jay Latham now currently taking over the lead, as Donovan K, also known as Randy Kirtley, setting out currently. Michael Hazlip on deck, like I said. Ooh, as we get a little bit of a rollover. I think that'd be Sam Nelson's car rolling over there on the front stretch of the track. If you like that the camera on the left has got a little bit of delay, give us a like in the comment section. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch is what we're live going right now. Everything seems to be going pretty good. Not too bad dropping frames as of yet. Maybe in the future get some faster internet and better computers, but currently got to do with what we got, and I think everything's working pretty well, all things considered. Sam Nelson currently in the bottom of the pack there, but really trying his best to work his way up. Red lane on the orange track, you can gain quite a bit of time on it, as the only big corner you have to suffer from is actually the one leading into the back stretch of the track, and it's the longest. But a nice way to carry speed. The sharp corner entering into the bridge, somewhat scary if you don't do red a lot. The only issue that you have with red is if your car's not perfectly set up, about where Glenn Burden's setting or standing there in the right hand of your screen there on black, you need to blip the lane right there a lot of the times with cars that can't make it around there. And I think possibly Sam's is one of those cars that has to blip. Right now, though, it looks like he's trying his best to go full throttle there. As you can see, that red car blistering through on red lane. Trying to make him up some laps here. It's currently 17 laps, but the car itself really smooth looking, at least on camera. So we get another red flag, 5 of 10 lap rotation. Glenn Birding taking Jay out, now currently in the lead. So we see with lap averages here, 25.6, 25.4, 24.8, 24.6 to round up your top four. Glenn Burden, Jay Latham, Nathaniel Burden, and Greg Kimball. Randy Kirtley, also known as Donovan Kirtley in this current race, in your fifth position with 108. Randy Kirtley, or Randy K, is actually Tom Payton, if you guys know Tom. So he is right there behind Randy for 97 laps. I hope I'm not confusing you, but we've had a few substitutions. If you ever see my name in here, which is Donovan K, I'm just a substitution or a person making a filler. So to make sure we got 8 racers, or, you know, as many racers as we can. Even if I was to have won the race, I still wouldn't take credit for the win. It would be the person next below me. And the way that's kind of set up, I think it's pretty good, especially for new racers to get involved. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, but I will say this. I've been around a slot car track a few times in my life, and I know kind of somewhat what to do. So it gives people somewhat to look at to be able to get to that next point, especially if you're racing next to the person that has a little bit better of a skill gap than you. You tend to mimic their reactions, and you know, if you do it enough times, you get that hand-eye coordination down, your muscle reflexes and stuff like that down. With somebody that's good, then you end up, you know, taking on better patterns in racing. So we really want everybody to be somewhat of an equal caliber, but a higher equal caliber. for sure is we want people, every one of them, running like Randy Kirtley out here or Gabriel Kirtley, as they're really good. As we see Glenn Burden even is in that pack there. Glenn Burden actually been putting it on Randy Kirtley as of late. So, like I said, if you're around guys that are really good and you can mimic the way that they race, the sky's the limit. Especially if you know something that they don't, or you raced a different way than them before, maybe you can take something from them, learn from it, and actually be faster than them. And then, in the sense of racing, all of that just pushes racing to a further curve for sure, as we want to be the fastest around here at Lanes Raceway, and that's every one of our racers included. You're only as strong as the weakest link. You always hear that. Well, I'm just saying, I want all of our racers here at Lanes Raceway to be battling for first place, and that if anybody from anywhere else comes in, I want them to have a competition from our guys for sure. So, just like yesterday, we had the wing race. Wally and Milton, Jeff, and Sag came down from Tennessee, or well, I guess up from Tennessee, and we had the wing race. Well, the past couple months, those guys was really just getting themselves handed to themselves from our guys here at the track, as they've got more experience with our orange track. But as you could tell yesterday in our big wing race, Wally was able to come out of nowhere. Well, I wouldn't say nowhere. They were always fighting back and forth between him, Paul Woosley, Randy Kirtley, and Sag. It was like every other heat, one of them was in first place. But Wally was able to capitalize on that victory by one lap over Randy Kirtley there in the end. So those guys are coming, and they're meaning business for sure. So we definitely want them guys to come back, increase our competition level here. And we would like to go down there and visit them, a couple of us that take it quite serious here at Lanes Raceway, and maybe do the same thing, see if we can come down there and give them a run for their money on their home track. Their home track is a hill climb 6-lane. And I think they do round robin rotation. They don't do multiple heats, which we haven't done that here either. But as you can tell, we're running round robin also here. A lot less headache if you do round robin for sure, as the computer itself kind of takes care of itself. But like I said, we're all after the same thing. We want to be faster. We want to run that perfect lap, that mystical kind of never can catch perfect lap. But that's just a racer for you. Racers are always trying to move that goalpost forward, and we definitely want to be able to do the same thing here. Randy Kirtley there in the top left of your screen seems to be working on a car. I don't know what exactly is going on. I believe that's Sam Nelson's car. It's really a nice, cool night here. Clear skies here at Livermore, Kentucky, Lanes Raceway. Quite a few people out eating Mexican next door. Probably some of the best Mexican food I've ever ate over here. La Cabana, if you've not heard of it. If you're in the area, definitely check these guys out. Really good, down-to-earth, heartfelt fellas in there. As we've been involved with those guys since we've been open, pretty much. And really good guys. Plus, they make great food. So, and they're not unreasonably priced. So definitely check those guys out. Especially if you're coming in here to race, it's just a good place to stop and get you something to eat. But if you just want some snacks here at Lanes Raceway, we do have quite a few snacks here. Got some new Shell Shock Now or Laters in, Laffy Taffy Laugh Bites, Laffy Taffy Stretchy and Tangy Candy. Of course, our usual suspects, Hershey's, all the Mars brands, pretty much all the good stuff from the 90s. But my personal favorite would have to be Snyder's Twisted Pretzel Sticks, the nacho cheese. I don't know if you guys ever tried that, or I don't know, it's a close battle between that and the wonderful chili roasted pistachios. But those two there are definitely on my top tier list. My top tier list for drinks this week would have to be the new Mountain Dew from Pepsi called Frostbite. It's got a big old mean looking shark on the front. It looks like winter's just blasted through on the can, but I'll tell you what, really, really good. If you like the taste of blue popsicles like you could get at the dollar store, that's pretty much what it is in a can form. So definitely, definitely good, in my opinion. Glenn Burden currently in the lead with 136 laps, and Nathaniel Burden there in second. The Burdens is coming correct tonight, as it looks like, creeping their way up to the top. Greg Kimball there in third, and in fourth place, trying to make his way up, Tom Payton, also known as Randy Kirtley tonight.
I'm not a front one, I don't think. Got a tool?
Yeah, I think there's three.
Front axle.
You need a front axle?
Yeah. It's messed up.
Nothing cannot be fixed.
Well, this tool ain't good. Actual tool?
That is it. That's all I got.
Let's see what I got.
So whenever we're done, they're gonna try to raise that in my guide flat.
What we'll probably do is just screw your tires down. I don't think that you're gonna have an issue now. I fixed all your chassis. So your chassis dude was dragged up. You were actually dragging back your car. So, anyways, I fixed it. Okay. Are you kidding me? One. 8.
Who knows what motor that? I don't think that's gonna get it done, friend. You got one for GRC action?
That's all I got. It's 8 unless you want an expensive one. But I mean, lengthwise, I mean,
I may have one over there.
I do have a Cobra. Monster?
Yep. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep.
Dude! Dude! Top?
Where's your keep doing that?
You put Tom in for the gold race, babe.
That's too short.
Hey Sam, I got one in here. All right, that's all I needed to hear. All right. They're hitting back green racing here, ladies and gentlemen, as my computer went down into sleep mode. There in the bottom left of your screen, you can see my mom and my uncle there. Uncle blocking some camera action there, trying to get a front row view here, free at Lanes Raceway. Trying to get him into racing. You see him, tell him, hey, you need to get into racing down there at Lanes Raceway. My mom, back in the day, believe it or not, used to be a force to be reckoned with the wing cars. So she knows her way around some racing too. I think she's raced here at least once or twice. And I don't think she likes to race a whole lot because she don't like putting it on people. But she sure can do it for sure. My wife there right in front of them, and she's guarding the exit corner to the back stretch. Jay Latham there down on his knees in the S's as he gets a car put back on there, Michael Hazelup's car. So far, it looks like his car handling skills have been doing quite well, at least here early on, since he's been back in. Car seems to be going a lot smoother than it was before. Took a look at it earlier. Some of these guys, they put their stuff in boxes. Some of them come out and just play around with their cars. They don't think to look over how straight some of the chassis and stuff like that is, especially getting started. You wouldn't think this stuff would bend, but it does bend, especially if it gets involved in incidents. Was able to bend her back up, make her straight and true. Probably made her just a little bit quicker, and sometimes that takes somewhat getting used to. But Michael, definitely for his first time out, not doing bad at all. Now, of course, red and white lanes are one of the toughest lanes to conquer when it comes to braking in time there before the bridge. Randy Kirtley there, still under the bridge on his knees, hitting the button for everybody. Glenn Burden still in the lead here with 148 laps. Nathaniel Burden, his son, right there behind him with 142. Greg Kimball there reaching the gap there with 142. Also, Tom Payton, also known as Randy Kirtley here in the race tonight, reaching a gap there between Greg with 19 on black, doing quite well. Gabriel Kirtley coming up the pack there with 22. Gerald Settle there with 95, also with 21 laps. These three guys actually having the fastest amount of laps. There's Sam's vehicle coming off their high-speed come apart there on green, there in the High Banks corner. As Randy Kirtley goes around with the hooks of life to try to scoop that baby up. Kind of looks like the difference between our camera now somewhat stabilized, as it looks like we're back to 1-to-1 for some reason. You never can tell what this software is going to do. We can just keep going as far and as fast as we can. Sam, a while ago, come in looking for an axle. I gave him just a cheapo bolt bag 1/8 inch axle. Evidently, it was only wide enough for the rear end. So he looked through his bag, found him another one, and was able to get that on before the heat started. So I hope everything works out for Sam. He's having a little bit of rough time here on the orange track tonight. As seems like most everybody tonight has had quite a rough time on the orange track as we move forward here. They may be able to straighten some of these things out as they get on the circle track, and that could be a big deal too, as some of these guys most likely have their cars set up for the circle track, and that might be something that is causing a little bit of an issue on the orange track. Those that's watched our previous preliminary race to the season in this GRC Duel event, where we drag raced to see who the top 4 positions was. Which did you like better? Did you like watching the guys drag race for placement, or did you like them qualifying on the circle track for placement? Another track call called out there. Jay Latham getting up off his perch there. Recently bought those knee pads for the guys. Kind of felt bad for them as they were using the stern pads. They're not quite as thick. A little more cushiony the stern pads are, but I think they're meant to be stood on versus kneeled on. These are kneel pads. They're a little bit harder, but they do feel a lot better on the knees, I've noticed for sure, as I've been down there a few times myself. Round robin heat over. We got a red flag pause, but we probably got a few tenths of a second left, so it's not kicked us into the next heat. So somebody's got to hit the button, and it'll kick us into the next heat. Greg Kimball now in second place, dethroning Nathaniel Burden just by a few feet, evidently. And it will continue to be that way, as there are about 6 car lengths there. You can see them there, orange and white. That's the difference between second and third place there currently, with 147 laps. On deck, of course, was Randy Kirtley, also known as Donovan Kirtley. So he'll be heading back in this time, and we'll get another one to come out, which I believe to be Greg Kimball will be coming out this heat to set his 2 out and help track marshal. Glenn Burden still currently in the lead with 154. Glenn going to be a tough one to beat for sure. Jay Latham way down there with 25.4 average laps. He's deciding he's going to make his climb up. Jay Latham and Gabriel Kirtley, of course, rival battling individuals, especially in the series previously, as they battled back and forth. Randy Kirtley and Bruce Bullington, for the most part, when it comes to GRCs, are battlers of old, axe-wielding members of society, cutting each other down on the racetrack field. My wife is laughing in my ear right now, cracking me up a little bit. Minute and 40 seconds left. There's that axe wielder right there now going to his current position on the racetrack, which would be red, as he comes back in. You go off on white, you come back in on red. Another axe wielder, Jay Latham there, he's on deck, so he'll be coming in shortly after. These guys are definitely cutthroat. Don't let their timid appearance here as he's connecting his controller fool you, ladies and gentlemen. When people come into Lanes Raceway, whether it be pinball or slot car racing or drag racing, that Steely line there on Red Lane, also known as Randy Kirtley, has been known to send people packing. I don't think he's made any kids cry yet, but I will tell you this. When it comes to a man of ferocity, when it comes to racing and pure competition, look at him. He can sense we're talking about him as he walks closer to the camera. This man is a myth amongst men. My father, Randy Kirtley. My brother there, on putting his car on purple there in the high banks. Every time I see him, it seems like he gets more and more buff. Like next time I'll probably see him, he'll be just a floating cloud of a pillow man, possibly with no neck. Gerald Settle, ladies and gentlemen, there on Red Lane. Don't confuse him for Santa Claus. This man will rip you apart also, as Gerald Settle used to be a professional wrestler here in the area. So we go back green racing. Of course, Glenn Burden's still out in the lead. Greg Kimball there in second place on White Lane. Randy Kirtley, also known as Tom Payton, now taking over third place. A little bit of a gap to be made up for Gabriel Kirtley and Randy Kirtley, who is also Donovan Kirtley in red. Gerald Settle also got somewhat of a makeup to make to catch back up with these guys. But is it possible for that to take place? It is more than possible, I believe. Michael Hazlip and Sam having their own little battle there towards the back. Michael, of course, brand new to the sport of GRC racing. Sam Nelson having some issues tonight, but it makes a pretty good battle between these two, as they're only a tenth of a second off in their median lap times. Got a little bit of a cluster there coming around the back stretch, as we get several people off tonight, it seems, underneath the donut of the track, under the bridge there. Jay Latham able to get them back on. Quite quick hands when it comes to hitting the button and calling the track marshal. We got 4 wide there going up underneath the bridge as it comes around, just looking for a heyday as we get a wide open hit there at the start finish line. Hard to see as we get a breakout taking place under Gerald Settle, as we get a little bit of a rider there on black across the line. Especially the darker colored cars, as you guys can tell, it's kind of hard to see, especially on the lower lanes that are black itself, your eyes just accumulating to that darker color. You don't notice it till it's too late, and those guys coming around there in that cluster of cars couldn't see it until, because they were focusing on the other 3 cars. I'm sure they come around that corner and hit them wide open. So hopefully everything's all right with that car. I do kind of hear some squealing taking place out of one of the cars out there, as it's probably just a little bit unsettled after taking such a hit. Maybe bent a little, who knows, but a little bit of a gear whine there for sure. It sounds like it's possibly Greg Kimball's car there on white that's possibly got a little bit of a squeal taking place. But I could be wrong. It could be the blue car of Sam Nelson having a little squealing action. Nonetheless, I hear a little bit of a squeal. Somebody's squealing. Look at that cluster of cars coming around the exit corner there into the start finish under the bridge, rounding about. It looks like everybody except one made it under that bridge. A nice coast there by Gabriel Kirtley in the high bank corner as we get back underway. Possibly more clusters to be taking place in the future as Gabriel Kirtley pushes hard there on purple, making the pass on yellow of Tom Payton. Everybody somewhat spread out except for Sam Nelson and Greg Kimball as they kind of run side by side. Sam Nelson actually reeling in Randy Kirtley's car there a little bit. As we kind of see just a flash of yellow there take place. The car turning over on its side was none other than Michael Hazlip, having a little bit of an issue trying to figure out the rhythm as it comes to going up underneath the bridge here at Lanes Raceway. But that car just barely teetering out there lets you know that he's almost got it in to where that he's able to make it around the donut like everybody else. His wife Nikki Hazlip able to get his car put back on there in a timely fashion. We do appreciate Nikki helping track marshal tonight for sure. So we see Nathaniel Burden there pointing at the car. Whether or not he got it in, I don't know. Nathaniel's best place for putting cars on, of course, would be right there where he's standing. It seemed like he was walking over to the start-finish line there. Probably not many cars going to come off on a straight stretch. At the end of the heat there, we got Glenn Burden still out in the lead with 181 laps. What a blistering pace to be set there at 25.9 laps average. Greg Kimball there with 24.3 laps average in second place. Now going to be coming off on White Lane, setting out 2 heats as he'll be going back in to finish up one last heat. Randy Kirtley there, also known as Tom Payton there in third place, going into his next heat with 149 laps. He's going to go ahead and finish completely out there on White Lane. And Nathaniel Burden right there behind him, just 2 laps behind. Gabriel Kirtley and Randy Kirtley neck and neck with 136 with 27.2 laps average. You're going to start seeing these guys with 2 laps extra average per heat going to be climbing very, very seriously here in the next couple of heats. So you're probably looking at your 1 and 2 right there currently. Yeah, it is better. Thank you. My wife gave me some back support. She's used the same cloth that we used to cover up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pinball machine whenever we revealed it. Is now back support here for me at Lanes Raceway. None other than Natty Ice himself. What are you currently in? Third place there, Natty Ice?
I think so.
He says he thinks so. Putting out a valiant effort tonight there on Orange Track. Also a veteran. His dad, of course, putting it on him tonight. We'll see if he can make a turnaround and maybe chase his dad back down.
You got me back. Well, I just said out. I'm doing my 2 set outs now.
He's going to do his 2 set outs, and he'll be happy to get back in. Of course, I think actually this is round heat, so 2 set outs means he's done, ladies and gentlemen.
My last plate, lane is green.
Your last lane's green. He said he's going back in, ladies and gentlemen. But, he is on deck, actually, it says. So he will be coming in next heat. 27 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley, OG, Glenn Burden, OG. These guys are definitely going to be fighting for that number 1 spot here on the orange track. Gabriel Kirtley there rounding the other way. As you see him there in the high banks in your right, bottom right corner. As he makes his way back around. He's getting set up, ready to start that climb also. 2 heats left to go. What's going to make a difference here is just these last 2 heats. Isn't it funny? As we keep an eye here on the results here, like I said, you're going to start seeing these guys really, really climb in these next 2. So we already see Tom Payton there in second, Gabriel Kirtley in third, and Randy Kirtley in fourth. 1 lap difference between the 2. Jay Latham actually just within 10 laps or so of, less than 10 laps of Randy Kirtley. He's also going to be making some climbing action. Gerald Suttle actually right below Jay Latham with a very, very quick car when we started today for the circle track. He was almost a 1/10 of a second faster than everybody else. So he's definitely got a fast car for sure. Now, after taking so many hits and wrecks tonight, as everybody has, that's still questionable whether or not that car is as freed up as it once was. But nonetheless, you almost have to beat a car out of submission when they're that quick to make them where they're not competitive. As we see Randy Kirtley there in the high bank corner, able to make a nice, beautiful coast around the high banks. We now see Natty Ice, also known as Nathaniel Burden there, track marshaling in the right portion of your screen. Crouched down there, looking under the bridge, waiting for cars to wreck so he can get them back on. Nikki Hazlett now in the donut of the track, helping out. Michael Hazlett, husband to Nikki Hazlett, getting his car put back on there in the high banks. Having a little bit of a rough going tonight here with his cars. He's trying to get a feel for it for sure. His car definitely in a straight line, quite fast. just a few more kinks possibly to be worked out there on Michael Hazlip's car. So he's having some issues with the car almost being a little too top heavy, it seems. This could just be boiled down to the type of body that's on it. It's just a little higher and just needs to be cut down a little bit. Catch a little bit of air. Sometimes it's just enough just to push you on over, especially if you're still in the accelerator. But you can see him there running neck and neck with Randy Kirtley's car. And Randy Kirtley, of course, if you're running neck and neck with him on the straight stretch, you definitely got a fast car. So Michael does have a fast car. He's still working out the kinks coming around the donut, going through the S turns and stuff, but nothing that doesn't take just a little bit of time to figure out and get a good rhythm going. He'll fall right into place. And he raced dirt car and flat track or asphalt cars for several years, so he's got a racing type of mindset anyway, so it definitely won't take him long because he knows how the accelerator works for sure. And the difference here is just a finger or a foot. So I believe in the future he'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with. As we know for sure, it only takes just a little bit of time. Here we are being open for right at 4 months. Tom Payton, never touching a slot car before in his life. Now all of a sudden Tom Payton, as you can tell, is in second place there with 167 laps. So, I mean, it's really, how far do you want to take it, ladies and gentlemen? But Tom Payton is telling us with the way he's running tonight, he wants to take it all the way. So Tom Payton did come from a background in racing. He actually started racing RC first off, but a big fisherman. So we'll probably be missing Tom whenever springtime comes around quite often, as he's going to be going and getting in a bunch of fishing tournaments. Quite the angler, I've been told. But Tom Payton is almost a fixture here. I thought several times about putting a mailbox up for him and Paul Woosley, as they're both here quite often. Of course, Glenn Burden, he always has a mailbox here. I think he actually lives here. He might actually have a cot somewhere in the back. I'm not for sure. But that's why you see Glenn Burden up there at the top. These guys come in, they work on their cars, they make sure they're fast, and then they put them out there on the racetrack after they get them nice and silked out, and that's why they're in the lead, ladies and gentlemen. I got no other excuse but to tell you the reason these guys are winning is because they're that good. So after that 8th heat there, we still see Glenn Burden there up on top of the hilt. Second place, we got Tom Payton. Third place, we got Greg Kimball. Fourth place, we got Gabriel Kirtley. Fifth place, we got Randy Kirtley to round up your top 5 out of 10. Jay Latham there trying his best to nip his way up. Jay very much so better when it comes to the circle track, and probably one of the highest hitters there on the circle track for sure, as Gabriel and him both like to battle back and forth on the circle track. So definitely keep an eye out for Jay, especially in the next race that we're fixing to run here to complete the Duel GRC race here tonight. But I'll tell you right now, though, here at Lanes Raceway, it wouldn't have been possible for this to be without, of course, friends and family and all these, the love of these racers. But most of all, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for making a way for me and my family as we started here at Lanes Raceway just a couple months back, and I feel like the progression of this has went so far, and I really do believe that in a small town like this, especially as much real estate as these tracks take up, you definitely need a helping hand, and why not get the helping hand from the one that has the biggest hand? And I really do truly believe that he takes care of his own for sure. And he definitely has took care of us here. Got a lot more friendships, a lot more people I haven't talked to in years coming by. And it's just been a huge blessing for me and my wife for sure. And I owe it all to him for sure. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody's watching this right now, but, sometimes I get a little teared up when it comes to all that he's done for me for sure. And I do give him all credit and glory for everything that's taking place here. And we see Gabriel Kirtley there getting his car put back on the orange track there into the donut. Also, we see Gerald Suttle in the middle of the track right now on orange getting ready to go. Michael Hazlip, I could tell the excitement in Michael Hazlip's eyes there with that green ball cap. I think he's really starting to enjoy slot car racing here. He started out, him and his family, drag racing here. But I'll tell you what, I think he's starting to fall in love with a little bit of circle track racing. As he raced our GTP race just a couple days ago, I let him borrow HT from the track here. It's a car I built for the orange track probably about 10 years or so ago. And it's funny, that car is still alive and still on its original motor. But she's about to go because after he finished that race, I'll tell you what, that motor was about to melt the Lexan on the body. It was that hot. So we head back green racing here. We can see everybody's now officially got a lap. As we see Randy Kirtley, also known as Tom Payton, now taking the lead. That lets me know that Glenn Burton is now officially setting out. And it's kicking back to Tom, as Tom is doing his best to keep that lead. Close on his heels, though, Randy Kirtley within 8 laps of him. Right behind him, Gabriel Kirtley, 2 series veterans as they're pushing with everything they got. Also, Jay Latham there, not too far behind either. Just maybe 15 or so laps behind. So I heard a wild collision take place there. Unknown who it is currently at this time. Let's see. Looks like they went on possibly purple lane. Be Michael Hazlett. Still having a little bit of an issue when it comes to staying on there right before the bridge, but I think he'll figure that out and he'll work that out for sure. As it is somewhat hard to figure out because the track actually flips itself over at that point. Everywhere else you got the bank in your favor to where the cars can stay on, but right there at that point the track flips itself over, and it's really tough to keep these heavier style cars on as Michael takes him and Sam Nelson out there under the bridge, pushing just a hair deep, trying maybe possibly to get out in front of Sam. Whenever you get neck and neck like that in close situations, it is kind of nerve-wracking, especially when you're trying to race tight and hard. You do the best that you can to stay with each other. But like I said, you can see that Michael's car definitely has the front line speed, but he's letting off there on purple as he gets passed on the inside by Gabriel Kirtley. The track call sound like by Glenn of Michael Hazlett's car, somewhat popping off there in the back stretch of the track. Michael just wide open hits the wall there as if he couldn't see his car. But still, for a first time to be this close to people that's been doing it since we've been open, he is only about 7 or so laps difference between him and Sam Nelson. And, just a few more laps other than that than Nathaniel Burden. Nathaniel Burden, of course, a veteran when it comes to racing on this specific track. Him and Glenn, probably next to me, my dad, and my brother, probably raced on the orange track the most out of anybody here. So it goes to show you that it doesn't take a whole lot to get a rhythm to where you're competitive with others on this track. You just got to work at it, make sure your car's straight, make sure it's flat after every heat, clean the tires, put some glue on it, clean up the braid, make sure everything's oiled up nice and good, and get her back out there. The more free it is, the faster it's going to go. If you're having issues coming off on red, white, and green, of course, blip there where Sam Nelson's currently at there on black, and just make sure you keep your car on. But if you can keep your car on, keep it out of wrecks, keep it straight, you're definitely going to be racing for a podium finish for sure, if not winning the whole thing. As we can tell that Tom Payton's still in the lead. Randy Kirtley down by 6 laps from Tom Payton. Gabriel Kirtley right there next to him. 7 laps difference. These guys really putting it in, keeping their cars on, not getting involved in a bunch of incidents, running good, clean, consecutive laps. Heat 9 of 10. 33 seconds left to go. See Greg Kimball there on the exit corner there. Man, what quick hands Greg has. Really getting those cars put back on. This is a sign of a good track marshal. Put those 2 cars on. I didn't even think he had a second car there, but he got that one on, then immediately got the second one on. Really having to work getting those cars on. There's several people just coming off, but Greg hyper quick when it comes to putting them on. So Glenn Burden with a total of 207 laps, able to still hold down first place after that heat. Tom Payton finishing up with 198 laps. They're currently in second place. With 1 heat left to go, we still see Randy Kirtley there in third and Gabriel Kirtley in fourth. We're going to see these guys take over in the next heat, surpassing both Tom Payton and Glenn Burden.
Is there a race after this one?
Yes.
I mean, on this track, but what about the other track?
Yeah, after this, we're going to take all the cars and we're moving them over to the circle track, GRC.
Okay.
And that's a part of the Duel GRC. So everybody that's racing now will be moving over to the circle track.
Okay. Okay.
Greg Kimball brought up a good point there. He was wondering if there was another race after this. And tonight, of course, being Duel GRC night, immediately after this race, all GRCs will move to the circle track, and it is a combination between those 2 tracks and laps of who's going to be taking home first, second, and third. Minute and 30 seconds left before we start the 10 of 10 round robin heat here. Michael Hayslip doing a little work on his car, getting it underway. So he goes to put his car back on the track to finish this thing up. After this race, for sure.
Just right now they're losing.
There's 2 names in the line.
Well, Donovan will be calling, right?
Not me, because I'm not racing anymore. So just make that Dad. Dad is me, and Randy K is Tom. That's Dad. Yep. All right, we're back underway. 1 minute and 55 seconds left as we get a dive bomber there by the start-finish line when the power went off of the track. This is your round robin 10 of 10 as we already now see that Randy Kirtley has took the lead, following by the son of Randy Kirtley, Gabriel Kirtley, with 192. Still got his work out left out to him to be able to catch Randy Kirtley. Probably not possible. Jay Latham there in third place. 20 laps or so difference between the two. Him and Gerald Suttle there giving it all they got. Probably somewhat of a battle between Greg Kimball and Nathaniel Burden for sure. Sam Nelson and Michael still down there battling it out and giving it their best. Talking about making a sign for the blipping zone. I think my brother's actually working on that, getting the guy to make us one. So that won't be too long. You'll be seeing that in your screen. Blip here. As you can see in the top left of your screen, I know it's hard for you to see. This might mess things up. I'm just going to move this over for the time being until the end of this heat, as I've been disconnected from the session. But if I hit that, then it's going to completely remove that off of your screen, and you won't be able to see what's going on, as we got 1:44 seconds left to go. Actually, I'm going to have to, because it's not redoing it. 1 second here. We'll get her back up there before they end here. Now this is up to date. As we can see there, Randy Kirtley's still in the lead. Quite a bit of CPU usage took place there for me to be able to reload that, as we timed out again on the control center here. I just hope we can make it through to the end of this heat. Deborah Kirtley able to get one lap up on Randy Kirtley there. But can he make up enough to catch the leader? That is still the question. Jay Latham actually making quite an impressive push too, as he's just a few laps down also. Everybody else in the 180s in breach to try to get to 190. Get a yellow flag call there. Our camera's now completely out of sync with one another. What a replay you're getting here, ladies and gentlemen. What a replay. So we get them live there on the bottom right of your screen. That is live. The bottom left, not live. So we get another yellow flag called there. 33 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley in the lead. Gabriel Kirtley in second. Jay Latham in third. Gerald Suttle in fourth. Nathaniel Burden in fifth. Greg Kimball in sixth. Sam Nelson in seventh. And Michael Hazlett in eighth currently. "20 seconds left to go. Not much has changed. Gabriel has brought it within one lap of Randy Kirtley. Does he have the mustard to be able to catch the king? Randy Kirtley there on purple, possibly feeling a little bit of the heat there. So he's able to turn another lap there before the track call button was hit. Gabriel Kirtley really in dire need of a wreck to take place for Randy Kirtley to be able to pull that up. But will Randy Kirtley allow that to take place? We see Randy Kirtley there coming around the back stretch there in the high banks under the bridge. Back around to the high banks, coming to make a pass there on yellow of Sam Nelson as he makes it. And he's coming back through again. Wide open, fast and furious. 2:20, 3 seconds left to go. Randy Kirtley's going to be taking this one home in spades. 221 laps. Randy Kirtley, your leader. followed by Gabriel Kirtley with 220. The average lap difference between 0.1 second of a lap. Glenn Burden there in third place with 207, rounding up your top three for the orange track. Every one of these racers are now going to be moving over just shortly, as I'll take a picture here, to the circle track. And I'll be right back with you as I'm going to get these guys moved over. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have just been told by the racers they're hungry, and Lane's Raceway does not supply food other than snacks here and a little bit of sugary sweet goodness. We got a few of these racers. They want to get out there. They want to work on their cars. Well, we got Greg and a few of the other guys. They want to go get something to eat, and I can't say that I blame them. If you're hungry, go to La Cabana here in Livermore, Kentucky. Some of the best Mexican food I've ever ate. Plus, they're good guys, and tip them well if you don't mind. But we're going to take a small break here, and we'll get back underway around 7 o'clock. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now, and we'll get this thing vamped back up here in about 30 minutes as the guys will be moving over into the next track. Thank you guys for watching. See you on part 2 of this week's The Duel.